Hello everyone and welcome on Eduya. Today we are going to talk about the string methods in Python, a very important topic, and it helps you a lot in building your logic as well. Most of the data which we come across on Excel is going to be in the form of strings only. So string manipulation is a very important topic and these string methods helps you a lot. My name is Priyam and I am going to instruct you in this video, and without wasting any further time, let us go ahead and see the tutorial. So guys, I am over here on my Jupyter notebook and I will be using this for the tutorial. So basically let us start with what is a string. So a string is a collection of characters enclosed within quotations. Right, we understand this thing. For example, if I take an example of what is a string, so let's take example of my name inside quotations, or we can even write double quotes. So in Python you can use single quotes or double quotes for both of them. Okay, these are same in Python. Doesn't matter, if you want to use single quotes you can go ahead with single, if you want to use double you can use double. So the question is that why does this happen? So because Python doesn't have a character data type, it has only string data type, that's it. Okay, so why do we use quotations then? The reason behind using quotations is that it differentiates these strings from variables. Okay, so we know the rules of naming a variable, that it should not start with a number, it should not have any special character in it, and it should not be a keyword, right? So let's say I write Python, it is not starting with a number, right? It is not starting with a, like, it is not having any special symbol in it, and even it is not a keyword. So my computer will think it's a variable. For example, if I try to print Python directly, it will give me name error, that the Python is not defined. So to overcome this issue, that I want my computer to understand that this is a string, this is a character which I want to print as it is, so I use quotation for that. So as soon as the interpreter looks towards the quotation, it understands that it's a string, it's nothing but a string, a message which I want to print. Okay, so this is a small introduction about strings. There's a lot big topic about them, like there is indexing, there is slicing, and so all in all is over there. These all also topics are covered on the Eduya Prime app, and even we teach this thing in the live sessions, but today's topic will focus on that. Okay, the string methods. What is a method? Actually, it's an inbuilt function of a class. Like what it was like when string was being written in Python, the programmers must have written some functions for the easiness of the other programmers. So string methods are the same. There are plenty of methods and it's very difficult to remember the names of them, but we have a shortcut for that. So there's this function known as dir, which stands for directory. Dir stands for directory. So dir of str will give you a list of all the methods. Okay, don't look over these ones because these are the functions of them. Okay, these we cannot access them directly, they are accessed with the help of the operators and all, and in the next update we will not be seeing these things as well. Dir will directly show the methods. So the method starts from capitalize, so from capitalize till the end, z fill, these are all the methods of the string. So let's copy this and let us paste this over here, and we will be looking them one by one. Okay, so there's also one more method. For example, it's known as help. Okay, inside this, if you mention str, you will find all the description of the methods. A big way to go ahead with this thing, but you can also watch my video over here to understand each and one every time. Okay, and I will tell you which are the most useful and which are just here for the use cases. Okay, so let us start with the capitalize and all. Let us copy this thing and again go ahead in the down. So just a second, yeah, paste it. The first one which we have to start with is the capitalize. Okay, so to make it more clear, let us create a text document where I will keep this all the methods, and I'll just look at them and do one by one. Okay, so capitalize half over here, this over here. I guess this much will be enough. Right, perfect. So let us go ahead over here again then. Right, so the first one is capitalize. Let's take a demo string as s. Okay, let's set d is demo, which is, let's say, Python. Okay, is great, and let's take the another string as word, which is a single word. Let's take this as a single word. Okay, single. So we have D as Python is great and W as single. So we will use, like, many of cases are not for single words, many are for multiple words. You can only see the difference in multiple words. So for them we'll use W for the single ones, and for D we'll use the bigger ones. Okay, so let us see. First one is capitalize. How to use it? You write the variables, then you write the capitalize. Then you get the output. If you print this thing, you will get the first character as the capital one. This is the capitalize function. It capitalizes the first character of all the sentences in a string. Okay, a more grammatical approach. The second one is case fold. Case fold generally is used to lowercase all the characters and compare them. For example, if you are not sure whether it is uppercase or lowercase, you can directly convert it into case fold. It is also working on different types of characters like Greek characters and all. So it's an advanced feature of lowercase, you can say. If you are only working with ASCII dataset, then go ahead with lower. Otherwise, this is also present with us. I haven't ever used this thing, so might be possible you come across this anytime. Okay, next is center. We have W with us as single, right? So center does what? It is basically a justifying tool. Okay, so for example, I want to increase the length of single to 10. Currently it is 6, so I can write W dot center. Okay, and then I can say 10, and then I can give a variable. So see, not a variable, it's a value. So it is getting the string into the center of the string which we already have, into the center of the new string. W originally will not change. W originally will not change, but it will create a copy of that, and it will send the single into the center, and you will get 10 characters altogether. The star will come at the start and at the end. So this is how center works. By you might use this thing for display purposes, and sometimes you get a logical question also, then you can use this thing. Okay, next function is count. Okay, so how does count work? So count basically counts the number of characters in a string. Let's say we have Python is great, right? So let us try to count A in it. Okay, so D was the variable, so D dot count A, so it is 1. So it is only occurring 1, right? So we get 1. So that's how count works. Now next is encode. So what does encode means? Encode is basically converting your string into binary strings or byte code of strings. Okay, certain times we have data to be like, we want to convert into a hidden code words or something. So when you convert into, let me just tell you, let's say W dot, let's say this thing in code, okay, equals to W dot encode. Okay, so the code value will be B. So now you have like locked these strings into binary form. For example, what I mean by this thing is W plus W will give you single, right? But if you try to add this thing with the code word, okay, which we have converted using encode, you will find an error that we are trying to concatenate string with bytes, which is not possible because the data types are different. Your string is locked. This will only work with the binary codes, okay, the bitwise operators. So encode is used to convert the language, like you can code it down. Okay, that's it. You can lock it down. There are certain ways you can do it with UTF. You can do it with ASCII. Other things, like, it's pretty much deep, but this is not that used as well, again, if I'll be truthful to you. Okay. Now next is ends with, very important because certain programming logics go ahead with this thing. So let's say I have Python, right? P. So D, we have Python, right? So I want to check that if it is ending with T or not. So I will write D dot ends with T. So I get true. This returns a Boolean answer that yes, it is returning, it is ending with T, then it's true. You can even give a substring. For example, I can even write eat. Okay, then I give it a run, I get true again. Next is expand tabs. Okay, so what does expand tabs means? This will return, actually ends with will return false if it is not ending with something. Let's say I try to give K, I will get false. Okay, expand tabs is a function which actually expands the spaces of tab space. Let's say I have a string as S, it has ABC, /t is for tabs B, C, D. Okay, if you directly print S, you will get a space between them. Okay, but if you expand the tabs, okay, if you want to increase the size of the tabs, you can do that with the help of expand tabs, and you can mention, let's say, 100. So actually it's went to the next line. Let's try with 10. So see, the space between them is now increased. So you can change the value of tab spaces with the help of expand tab. Next goes ahead is find. So basically what is find? Let us just see the variables first of all. What is D? D is Python is great and W is single, right? So find basically is used to get the index of the character. Okay, it works a different way. Like what does it do? Let's say I want to know if what is the index of O, okay, in D. So I will write D dot find O. Okay, D dot find O, it's 0 1 2 3 4, so I'll get 4. But let's say if there's no character which I'm trying to find, so let's give it as let's give Z. Okay, so I'll get -1. So find returns -1 if the character is not found. So remember this thing about find. Okay, next is format. It's a good function, it's used a lot. So let's say I have a string, but for this you will have to have a good string, like a formatted string as well. So let's say I have B and I have braces in it. Okay, curly braces are the ones which are used for format, and I say is bigger and this curly brace is smaller. Okay, this is a placeholder string. Now if I want to give the values, I can give these values using format into this braces. So if I write b dot format and I write the values, okay, let's say I give 12 and 10, so you will find that, see, the curly braces are replaced with 12, okay, and second one is replaced with 10. If I try to give one more extra, then I'll get an error. No, I'm not getting an error, it is automatically ignoring that. Okay, so that's it, it takes the first two values. Format map will give you an error if the key is not found. Okay, so what is format map? So basically over here you are giving the values according to you, and it is taking the values one by one. This is going over here, this is going over here, right? But what if you want this to be over here and this to be over here, but you don't know the sequence? So for that, what you can use is, this is known as format map. For that you will have to create a dictionary. Okay, let's say I give A as 12 and I create B as 10. Okay, so we have two values, A is 12, B is 10. Now I create B again, okay, this B, and in this I can actually mention that where I want what. Okay, I can give B over here, I can give A over here, and I can now use format map for that, b dot format map, and in this I can give the dictionary. So see, oh oops, I forgot the bracket. So see, now B automatically gets the value from the dictionary and A automatically gets the value from this dictionary key. Okay, so format map in format is used to create formatted strings. Next is index. So guys, we already understood about the find function. So index is like a shortcoming of the find function. Let's say you have D, right? D is Python is great, and now you want to find the index of a Y. So you will get the index of Y using index function, which is 1, right? But if you try to find something which is not available in the string, then you will get an error, which is substring not found, value error. So index will not give you -1 in return, find will give you -1 in return. That's why I've written this over here, that find returns -1 if the character is not found. That's how it works. Okay, now we have the Boolean functions, is Alnum till is upper. Okay, so when we talk about is Alnum, Alnum stands for alphabetical numerical. Okay, alphabetical numeric. So let's say I have a string as A which has A, B, C, D, E and 1. So this is an Alnum string. So if I write is Alnum, I will get true or false. Okay, so since this is true, I'll get true. Only alphabet will also give you true, only numbers will also give you true, but anything which is present like a dollar symbol, which is a symbol, right, it is not Alnum now, so I'll get false. That's how Alnum works. Next is alpha. So alpha is like only for alphabets, so is alpha will definitely give you false right now because A has numbers as well as string, okay, the symbol. But if you change it to only alphabets, then you will get true for is alpha. Is ASCII, what is ASCII? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange, okay. So according to this, all there are 256 characters, okay, which are given numbers, and these characters are universal. The keyboard you see is a ASCII keyboard. You find all the things which are available on your keyboard is an ASCII keyboard, okay. So these all are used to communicate between other computers, okay. You can also check the ASCII table online and you will find that this is a table over here. All the values are written as your ABCD. Let's see the value of ABCD. So capital A is 65 and capital B is 66 and so on. That's how it goes ahead. So these all values are the ASCII. So if particular string is belonging to these things, okay. Oh, actually it's 128, not 255, 256. What's 128? Okay, so if your string is falling below in these characters, okay, then it is your ASCII character set. So we'll look forward to this. Let's say I have ABCD. This is an ASCII character set, right? So if I write dot is ASCII, I will definitely get true, right? But let's say if something which is not in ASCII, how can I create that? Let's copy it from the online, okay. Greek symbol for alpha, okay, let's see that and we'll copy that, okay. This is a lowercase alpha symbol, so this is not an ASCII symbol, right? So I'll paste it and I'll check is ASCII, so I'll get false, definitely false, because we understand this is not available on this table. That's how it goes ahead. Now we have is decimal, is digit, these both work quite similarly. Is numeric also is a part of this only. So is these all used for numbers, okay. If you have numbers, if you want to check number, so let's say I have a 1, okay, in a string. This has to be inside string, that's it, that's the only reason. So this will give you true. Is identifier, what does that means? You know, variables, right? Variables have certain rules for naming them. So is identifier checks whether a particular string can be a variable name or not. Let's say I write ABCD1 and I check dot is identifier. So when I give it a run, I get true because it is following all the rules. But if I say give a symbol, okay, like this, and I ask if this can be an identifier, I'll get no, this is not possible, so false. That's how it works. Is lower, so what does is lower means? So it checks whether the characters are in lowercase or not. So if ABCD is lower will give you that yes, it is lowercase. Is numeric, we've already seen. Is printable, so there are certain characters which are not printable. Let's see if we can print this, okay. Oh, sorry. So there are certain characters which find errors, okay. I haven't ever came across this thing, but let's say we can give the true thing, okay. Is dot is printable, this will give me true. For what values it will give false, I haven't ever came across that. Yes, this can be printed, so for false values I haven't ever came across, so no biggie. Now is space, so when you talk about is space, so this will check whether this character is a space character or not, okay, it's true. Is title, so there's a string like this A B C D, like when you name your characters, right? When you name an essay, you give the characters like this: the world is one, right? So this is a character title case, so dot is title will check whether this is a title case or not. So this is, let's say I reduce this one as I, smaller one, so this will give me false because no, I have changed the capital. Next is upper, it checks whether all the characters are in uppercase or not, okay. Let's say I write Python, first character is upper but all the other characters are lower, so I'll get false. But it works if all the characters are upper, so see, true. Now next functions are join and update. See guys, I am explaining all of them, but to be truthful, when you work with them you will automatically learn them, it's just an way to make you remember that these are also available with us. Okay, so how does join work? So when we talk about join, you need a string, a list of string. Okay, let's say I write ABC comma BCD comma DEF. This is a list of strings. Now you want to join them, right? You want to join them together into a single string. You use the join function. First of all, define a conjunction for them and then write dot join L. So you find this thing. So this commas is replaced by X string. It only works with a list of string. For example, if you have L as, let's say, ABC and there's a number in it, then it won't work because you will get type error because you're trying to join a string with the integer. Okay, so see, type error. L just, so this particular just is like center. We already saw the center at the top, right? If you remember, that center is getting it in the center. Now what if you want to justify it to the left? So it's just easy, it's not that difficult. So let's say I write W was our single word, right? I want to justify W, okay, to the left side, and I want to justify it to the length of 10, and my character is star. So see, it adds the values at the left hand side. So just imagine that there's a person sitting in a bus, okay, and a person wants to sit on the left hand side of his, okay, so the person will have to shift to the right, right? So this was the person, and since a person wanted to sit on the left side, left just, so it shifted to the right, so it is basically on the right side only. Okay, so similarly we have lower. Let's say you want to convert this thing into lowercase, or before lower, let's see R just. Okay, just like left just, we also have R just. It basically justifies it to the right hand side. Okay, so see, you are justified to the right hand side now. So next, let's go over the lower. So let's say you have an upper string and you want to convert it into lowercase. So for that you use lower. So dot lower. Now it will convert it into lowercase. That's it. L strip. So there is this function known as strip. It basically removes the spaces or defined characters from the end. Okay, so we have normal strip over here. Okay, so if I show you the normal strip, let's say I have this character, a lot of spaces, words, a lot of spaces, some words, a lot of spaces. Okay, and if I write dot strip, it will remove the extra spaces. See, this all and this all are removed. This is what strip does. On the same hand, if we do it with the L strip, so L strip will only do this from the left hand side. L strip will only do this from the left hand side. So run it and you'll see this still remains. Okay, while R strip will only do it from the right hand side and the left hand side will still remain. So see, next is make trans. I'll suggest that you skip make trans and translate because this is more of the advanced thing using dictionary. With make trans you create a dictionary of like, let's say you speak French, okay, and you are creating a dictionary using make trans, and translate will translate that. A big thing, it's not that much used, so I'll prefer that you can skip this thing. Okay, next is partition. So when we talk about partition, it's basically dividing a certain string from a character, okay, and character will act as the border. So let's say I have a string as K equals to ABCDE1 EFG. So let us do the partition from 1. Okay, so K dot partition, it will return a tuple. See, ABCD one side, EFG one side. Okay, that's how it works. We also have R partition. So let us create a new string ABCDE1 EFG1 KJL. Okay, so we have two ones now. Normal K partition, how does this thing works? This goes from the left to right. Okay, left to right. So this will come first and it will do the partition from this one. Okay, the R partition basically starts from the right hand side, so it will do the partition from the right hand side. So it will start from here. See, it finds one over here, so KJL is alone and one is a border and this is the other string. So that's how partition and R partition works. So guys, these all are just the copies. The original string is not changed. See, W will remain the same, K will remain the same, D will remain the same. Don't confuse yourself, because strings are immutable. They will just return the copy of that. Next is replace. So when we talk about replace, so it basically creates a copy of the string and replaces the original characters with another. Let's say I have let's create another string, A B C D, A B B B C. Okay, and now I try to replace all the A's with Z or Z. Okay, so see, all the A's are replaced with Z. This is a copy of the string. If you run the original one, you will find A again back. Okay, remember this thing. Next is R find and R index. Guys, we have already seen indexes and find. So R basically starts from the right hand side. I'll show you both of them. Okay, so we know K is like this. Let's say I write K dot find B. Okay, so where is B? From left to right, it's the first, second, 0, 1, first character. But if I write R find, okay, and I give this as B again, so it will start from the right hand side and I will get this index. So see, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So we get 9. Same goes ahead with index, same goes ahead with R find. Okay, so R justify we have already seen, R partition we have already seen, R strip we have already seen, split and R split, let's see that. Okay, so split basically is a very good function. It's used a lot. I'll definitely tell you, whenever I talk about string methods, the first method which comes in my mind is split. Okay, so let's say I have a string as K. Okay, let's say Python. I have D as Python, right? Python is great. I want to split this into words, so I will split it from space. So D dot split. Okay, and give space over here. So see, I get a list of all the characters. Partition was giving me the border. This is removing the border and giving me the words. It's like slicing it down. Okay, you can also define that you want your own word. Let's say I give E over here, so inside quotations. So see, it is doing it from E. So that's how it works. Okay, prefer that you use spaces, it's good. Okay, you can also directly write split for this. R split also does the same work, but it does from the right hand side first, so it's quite different. Other one is split lines. So there are certain words, like the slash n, right? Slash n and slash n. So split line basically does it for the slashes n. So you will find this. It is doing for the slash n. It is like over here you take the space, over here it takes slash n by default. Split lines. Okay. Starts with is opposite of ends with. So let's say I write D dot ends with, and I give the value as starts with, right? So starts with, and I give the value as P. Okay, so yes, it is starting with P because D is Python is great. Strip, we have seen swap cases, a good function. Let's say I have K as ABC D E F F T E. Okay, some are upper, some are lower. So if I write K dot swap case, okay, so I'll get the opposite of all of them. Lower will be upper, upper will be lower. That's it. Now the next function is that title. Okay, I have Python is greater than D, so I will write D dot title. It converts it into a title. P capital, I capital, G capital. Translate, as I have already told, it works with make trans together. So if you want to use them, you will have to master dictionary as well with strings. Upper, when we talk about upper, it is just like lower, but it converts into the upper cases. So D dot upper will convert the lower case into upper cases, all upper. So the last function over here we are now is Z fill. So when we talk about the Z fill, it fills zeros on the sides. Okay, let's say we have W. Okay, W is single, right? W dot Z fill 10. So see, you get in the starting you get 10 in the particular string. That's how it works. Zero fill. Z fill stands for zero fill. So guys, we have seen all of the methods of these strings. Two we skipped because definitely they are not for us. They are used a lot in the translation purposes. So capitalize, case fold, count, encode, ends with. The most important one from my side is the split, strip, the cases converters, partition, replace, and find and is fine. Okay, index. Other than that, count is also good. So all of them are important. You should be knowing all of them, and that's very good if you can master this thing, because to be truthful, string is 40% of a programming language. You will do a lot of things with string. Okay, that's it. That's how it works. You can even DM us to get this particular file on our Instagram, which is coders.edu, and the Instagram is handle is named as coders.edu. If you are interested in learning Python in live classes, you can also check out our website. It is eduya.in. Let's say we have a course starting from tomorrow itself, and over here we are going to teach everything for live. It's an 18-day course, and it's for 649 rupees only. I will be the instructor for the same, and this is all syllabus over here. You can find the link below to enroll as well. So guys, this was all about today, and if you have any doubt, you can mention in the comment section. We'll be happy to help you all. Thank you all.